Hello. I was here yesterday. Did a video. I thought it was a stellar work of art. Then people told me that it wasn't connected to the video that I wanted it connected to, and I said, blast it. Hasn't got a chance on its own. Then somebody said, I did find that video of yours, and you didn't have the microphone on you doof. Well, that distressed me even more. So I'm a very distressed person. But, nonetheless, I have some comments to make now that the big, fancy, expensive network has terminated the employment of Don Imus. This country is sort of like a big cabinet. And I don't know about you, but I think most of us have things in our cabinets that are shoved way back in the back that we really do not want to think about or really look at. And when we open that drawer, and we find those little boxes, and we start opening, and we find things that we really do not want, so we start throwing them away. Well, I guess that's what's happened with Don Imus. I have to wonder a little bit that those networks that fired him and took all that advertising money from those big advertisers, I really, I'm not the brightest guy on the block. I'm old, you know how old people are. But it would seem to me that these advertisers have been advertising on Don Imus's program for years. Am I to believe they had no idea that he was sort of like chalk being rubbed across a blackboard? That his ideas upset people, and that's how it all worked? And it attracted a whole bunch of people, and they put their money into those ads because they wanted to talk to that whole bunch of people? But it seems all of a sudden they're pulling his ads like, my God, I did not know this. Well, I'm thinking, now that we've opened this box, and I want to speak to you from my heart, there are things that distress me. You see, I'm really not a Democrat because I'm opposed to abortion, so I cannot be a Democrat. And I really am not fond of President Bush and the way he's handling this war in Iraq. I value our young people. I think they're the most important commodity that we have in the United States of America today. I see kids go to school carrying their bags and their books and everything, and they jump on a bus and it carries them to school, and as they're studying and learning, they jump back on the bus, they're brought home, they take their bags, these packs, and they go home. And this war in Iraq, which we can't win the way we're fighting it, we should have learned, you see. Old people know we had a war in Korea, we had a war in Vietnam, and now we're going for a third one, just the same. See, we have an army. It's supposed to fight armies. The people that we're fighting are supposedly our friends. Maybe the guy we're teaching to fly that jet airplane is really a terrorist who's going to blow everything up. So I think we should take a moment while we're opening boxes and drawers to think about us people who are offended by the way this war is going in Iraq. And let's not allow any more broadcasting or the mention of Iraq, because I just think about those coffins that we never get to see being brought home every day, hidden so no cameras can see them. So let's get rid of that. Another thing that we need to get rid of is that Rush Limbaugh. Being a person who's very frustrated because he can't be a Democrat and he really can't be a Republican, I listen to Rush Limbaugh always talking about that war. There's another one. He should go. He upsets me. It really stresses me out. But I'm a consummate professional, and I'm not going to let that show. Then I listen to a rap station. I wanted to be sure. I'm not a rap listener. I know that may be a shock to many of you. So I listened to a rap station, and sure enough, within 30 seconds, I heard words that were not only offensive to me, but would be offensive to black people. So we should do away with that rap music, too. And I was thinking, another thing is those evangelical ministers, being Catholic. I've got a son that's evangelical, and we argue all the time. It really stresses me out because I love my boy. I don't like arguing with him. And he's all whipped up by these evangelical ministers. So I think we should ban them. What I'm trying to say here, and don't get me wrong, is what's happened here with Rush Limbaugh is not going to change one thing. In fact, it's possibly going to make it even worse. I'd really like to hear your comments, but I can't. But you could write your comments right down there, and I wish you'd state what you think of what I've just said. Am I alone here, the dog barking in the dark? One point. Think about it. We're intelligent people here. Will what they've done with Don Imus, will their hate for Imus and silencing him change anything? You don't convert a man simply because you silenced him. Think about that. And now, if you will excuse me.